getting into the video. Got another banger here for you guys. Gonna be going over the 3 worst trades, in our opinion, in NFL history. But before we do that, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime we upload a video. Let's go.
I lost gang members, I can't act cool. I got gang scriptures in my tattoos. I was running from the police in my trap shoes. Posted trying to flip 100, I come back fool. Come from nothing, but I blossomed to a tycoon. Betrayal scars, can't stop thinking about them stab wounds. We might not catch him today, but he gon' die soon.
Starting with the third one here, 3 of 3, I guess is how you want to say it. But it's going to be DeAndre Hopkins being traded to the Arizona Cardinals from the Houston Texans. Now,
yes, sir.
To start it off, when D-Hop was in Houston, you know, he was due for a payday, and Billy O'Brien, doing what Billy O'Brien did down there in Houston, decided, yeah, we're not going to pay you, bro. So guess what? We're going to ship you off to Arizona. But with that came big replacements, and they also they shipped off DeAndre Hopkins in a 2020 4th-round pick, and in return the Texans got running back David Johnson, a 2022 2nd-round pick, and a 2020 4th-round pick. I'm guessing they just swapped 4th-round picks, or they had an extra one, or I don't know why you would send a 4th round to get. Yeah, I'm guessing they swapped 4th rounds. So kind of it looks a little lackluster in a sense, like, because we saw what Tyreek Hill just went for. He went for 3 1st-round picks, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds, or something crazy like that the Dolphins gave up to the Chiefs. So it's crazy how in just a few years' time, how much like receiver market has changed to be able to get one of the best in the league. But so we'll go over who. So Houston, with those picks that they got from the Cardinals, in the 2nd round they got Ross Blacklock, a defensive tackle, and then with the 4th round pick they got John Reed, who's a cornerback, and Blacklock is a rotational player on that defensive line right now for the Texans, and Reed is a low-depth corner right now on the Texans as well, and who is like on the verge of getting cut before camp or during camp or something. He's hanging on by a thread at that team, so not very good upside with both of those picks. And then the Cardinals, they drafted Rashard Lawrence, defensive tackle. He hasn't made a significant impact yet, but they also got DeAndre Hopkins. So
right. One of the funniest things about this was, like, he didn't want to pay D-Hop because he didn't think he was worth it or something like that, or he could get more.
Or did they?
You traded for David Johnson, who had a cap hit that year of $14 million.
Yeah, good job.
Right. And then the year after that was a $12 million cap hit.
Dang.
Hopkins was like 14.
Yeah.
Like, his deal that he did with the Cardinals was 14. You could have just gotten him for a couple million more. But you know what? I'm sure, it was not a bad trade. David Johnson, is just coming off of injuries. He probably would have killed it, right, Mikey?
Yeah,
like,
he would have been fresh, ready to go, ready to start over at a new team. How'd it go, Gage? Did he do good?
I don't know. What are the stats?
Oh, one of the stats? Well, I can tell you right now that in the 2 years at Houston, he got 314 or 16 rushes for 969 yards or something, and 6 touchdowns.
Touchdowns, damn.
Yeah.
Just for clarification, Hopkins in his first year with the Cardinals eclipsed that many yards and touchdowns. And not only that, that was just the downfall of what the Texans have been with a lot of their assets and best players and cap room to help that team improve. That was one of the first trades that Billy O'Brien made that just kind of absolutely crushed that organization.
Yeah, he did good. Oh, just kidding. He had 214 rushes. My bad.
Yeah, 214. That makes more sense.
214 for 919 yards. There you go.
Yikes. But that moves us on to the second worst trade that we have. And that is Antonio Brown getting traded to the Oakland Raiders. I'm sure everybody knows the story and how much of a just shit show this trade was. So we'll just give you a timeline, basically, what's going down, okay? First, Antonio Brown, he was benched by the Steelers for like lack of information, an injury, and Mike Tomlin benched him because he just didn't show up or something like that, right? And then he got mad because Juju was given the team MVP and then talked about like he's not even the best receiver on his team or whatever. Then he was found guilty 2 weeks after that, was found guilty of reckless driving, and then they agreed to part ways after he met with the team. The Steelers agreed to trade him. Then it looked like there was going to be a trade to the Buffalo Bills until Antonio Brown just was like, nope, I'm not playing for Josh Allen. Garbage, fake news. He didn't want to do that. So then he picked to go to the Raiders. Oh, he was originally going to go to the Bills, told them no, I want to go to the Raiders. He got traded to the Raiders. And then the Raiders and the Steelers traded. Raiders got Antonio Brown. Steelers get a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick in 2019. And now let's fast forward to the draft. Antonio Brown got traded to the Raiders. That's who they got, kind of. And then the Steelers got Deontay Johnson and tight end Zach Gentry. Obviously, Deontay Johnson is the best receiver now for the Steelers. He's their, number 1 or 2, depending on like what position he plays on the field. But he's their most productive wide receiver and one of the best weapons on that offense to this day. Now getting into the Raiders acquiring Antonio Brown. They signed him to a new 3-year deal worth $50 million, and $30 million of it was guaranteed. And right before camp, Brown entered a cryotherapy machine and fell asleep, and it froze his feet. And he posted a picture, and he wasn't able to like run or really stand on it for a bit, so he wasn't able to attend training camp right away. And then after that, when he was about to do it, the NFL updated their like helmet safety, and then Antonio Brown said that he was going to retire if he wasn't able to wear his helmet that he's been wearing forever, and he was super upset and pretty much just giving the Raiders a hard time. Like, they're the ones that did that. Like, we can't do anything about it. Like, that's something for you in the league. Mm-hmm. And then after that, he was skipping work, and then started arguing with the GM at the time because of the GM fined him $54,000 because he didn't show up to camp. And AB got pissed about that and then started a fight with him about it. And apparently he called Mike Mayock a cracker and blah, 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 blah. After that, the Raiders finally released Antonio Brown, and it didn't take long for him to like post a video about how happy he was. Mind you, this is all in between February. They got him. Or not February. They got him in March. February is when he asked for a trade. March to the first week of August, he was released. So he didn't even make it like to the first week of season. It was that bad. Just one of the worst trades I've seen. That you basically just gave up Deontay Johnson to give him to the Steelers just for fun. Yeah, one of the worst trades I've ever seen.
Not very good.
Yeah. And then that brings us to the worst trade we've ever seen. And the only reason why this is worse than the Antonio Brown one, because this one's special. So we'll start it off. The trade in between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cleveland Browns. 2013, the Indianapolis Colts traded back, and then the Browns, with that pick, drafted Trent Richardson. Right? The The Colts passed up on him, and the Browns ended up taking Trent Richardson, who had a pretty good year for the Browns, had about 1,000 yards, I think like 7 touchdowns for him. And this is like, you know, coming out of college where he was like the hottest name. He had that crazy juke that like broke like 4 people on that huge run. Like he was just like this big thing. And then the Browns fans were like shocked and pissed when you announced that the Indianapolis Colts traded a first-round pick, the 26th pick that year, to the Browns for Trent Richardson. So Colts realized their mistake. Trent Richardson's really good. We haven't had a running game in years. Let's get Trent Richardson, and we'll give him our first-round pick. But, you know, isn't a bad trade on the surface, except for the fact that you're given a first-round pick for a running back. Could you imagine doing that today in the NFL? Like, it just wouldn't happen. So what did the Browns do with that first-round pick?
What did they do, Gage? You're a Browns fan.
They drafted Money Manziel.
Hey.
Johnny Football. Oh, man. And this is just going off of probably one of the worst drafts in recent memory as a Browns fan. We drafted Justin Gilbert, even though we never met with him or spoke to him at all, because our GM saw like a video of somebody saying that he was really good or whatever. There's like a whole story about it. It's pretty sad. And then they did not want to draft Johnny Manziel at all. No one in the front office did. They were like passing up. He's immature. A lot of people in the NFL were saying the same thing. And then our owner was like, no, you guys have to draft him. So we picked up Johnny Manziel, and everyone knows how that turned out. He was, you know, out of the team within like 3 years, constantly partying, never was ready to play in the NFL, was constantly in Vegas days before the games, partying up.
Bob, are you here? I can't hear. I can't hear you. There's too much money in my fucking hand. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
And being a great influence with Josh Gordon, my boy. Yeah, so that was, you know, that just crashed and burned for the Browns. And the Indianapolis Colts were the obvious winners, right? Like 100% have to be.
Nope.
What did Trent Richardson do?
Well, Trent Richardson in his 2 years in Indianapolis had 316 rushes for 977 yards and 6 touchdowns. After coming off of 950 yards and 11 touchdowns his rookie year in Cleveland.
Yeah, so that was like 3 yards a carry, right? And
yeah, he averaged 3.1 yards a carry.
And then a touchdown percentage of his carries of a 0.01%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they cut him after those 2 years, so they didn't even get anything for him. So it's got to be easily one of the worst trades we've seen. Both teams just absolutely crashed and burned.
Yeah.
There. So
the Browns,
I think
the Browns just cut Manziel, right? They didn't.
Yep.
So they,
Yep.
I mean, gave up both sides. Yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah, I would say like maybe the Antonio Brown trade is worse, except for the fact that both teams were royally screwed in one trade, which is just quite comical. But that's our top 3 worst trades in the NFL. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think are some of the worst trades. We love to hear them. Apart from that, if you guys have made it to the end of this video, we do greatly appreciate it. If you guys are subscribed, we appreciate you. And if you're not, consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on that notification bell so you're notified when we make more videos. We're in the midst right now of going through and doing a deep dive in every single team and doing a preseason preview. Apart from that, though, catch you guys for another video. Juice later a day.
Peace out.